Guys, we're back at the ranch. Matthew.
Hey.
Looking good, brother.
Good to see you. Thanks.
We got a little update for you today, guys. We are back at the abandoned mansion. Matt has made some serious progress.
It looked a lot different when you were here last, right?
Looked a lot different. And Matt, I watched your videos. You guys even did a ton of the work yourselves.
We did. We've been up here getting dirty.
It's looking good.
Thanks.
All right, so what can we learn from after you've kind of de-skinned the house then, Matt? What things did we find on the house?
Well, a lot of the stuff we expected as
Yeah.
we walked through it with you before, and you know, we saw places that were going to be problem areas. But I would say 80% of the stuff we knew. There's probably 20% of stuff that we didn't know. You know, stuff that was more rotten than we expected. There were some places we took stucco off that we thought was going to be fine,
Yep.
and it was totally rotten out. And so, you know, we realized, okay, we need to fix that. That was a good call, taking all that stuff down. So it turned out, yeah, we needed to take it all down.
So Matt is a non-professional builder. I know you actually have
Excuse
lots
me?
of jobs.
Excuse me?
You're a budding professional builder. What have you learned about houses after taking this one apart?
Well, I'm learning framing, which is really cool. I'm learning how stuff is built, just having to take it all apart, which is really cool. Like we ripped the roof off of that one section, and that was kind of neat to see how the roof is all pieced together. And I'm also learning there's a lot of things that I did not think about that are, you know, we're gonna have to figure out how to put back together now.
All right, so talk to me about the rot that you found, Matt.
Yep.
You found more rot concentrated in what places in the house?
Yeah, so as you said before, parapet walls they're notorious for leaking. So
Yep.
pretty much anywhere under a parapet wall, there was rot.
Yep.
Anywhere under windows, because all the windows are broken out,
Yep.
so water's been going in there for a decade.
Yep.
That was all rotten. Whenever there wasn't an overhang of the roof, a lot of rot on those areas.
Yep.
So we have one section of the house over here that has overhangs and no parapet walls, and most of it was good.
Yeah, so like your master wing all the way down there, 1-story overhang.
We really only fixed the wood around the windows.
That's pretty awesome.
But this section here with its parapet walls and 2 stories, and it was a mess, especially on the back side. It was all rotten. So we had to take all of those studs out and put whole new stuff up.
In bad shape.
Real bad.
Now, what's all this white stuff we got back here, Matt?
This is my Christmas present. So for the house, I just wanted to do something nice for the house. Yeah, I'm
all
excited
wrapped
about
up and
this.
looking pretty. So Matt's got a giant load today, just dropped off 300 sheets of Zip R sheathing. So it's all bundled here, but let's go look at it over here. If you've not seen it before, Zip R sheathing is standard zip sheathing that's been bonded to insulation on the backside. So you've seen Zip before. This is what the Zip looks like. You've got a green waterproofing facer on the front side of a 7/16 structural sheathing board. But underneath that, bonded to it, is insulation. You can see that right here. And Matt's doing the R3 version, so it's 1 inch total thickness. He's got ½ inch insulation bonded here. And now, when that zip goes on, in between the zip and the studs is gonna be a really nice thermal break, which is gonna make a big difference. Now, Matt, you've got 2x6s here, so we can use an R19 bat in the center, but everywhere you've got a stud, you've got much less than R19, because studs are roughly R1 per inch-ish. So where you've got a 2x6 stud, you've got maybe R5-ish, 5.5 maybe, and then you've got this insulation bat that's R19. But by adding this, you've added a ton of insulation value to the house. And what's cool to see about Matt's house now is he's got all the sticks up right now. He doesn't have any, he's got some temporary bracing up, but he doesn't have any shear wall up. And this is a really good place to look at how much stud coverage is on a wall, because right, you can only insulate in between the studs, and everywhere there's a stud, there's a pretty good thermal bridge, meaning a place that heat and cold can get transferred to the house. Typical house is about 25%, and I'd say, Matt, that's about right for yours over here too.
And there's some sections like there where there's 4 studs stacked on top of each other. You know, like so there's no insulation that's going to go
in
there.
that header right there, no insulation there as well.
No insulation going to go there.
So by adding that Zip R to the outside, you're adding a ton of insulation value to the house. Now we're going to come back later and show Matt a couple details on air sealing between the Zip and the foundation, how to use some of their auxiliary products like Liquid Flash and some of those others. So Matt, you got some work ahead of you. But let's go check out a couple of the rot areas on the back of the house that Matt was showing me earlier. Oh man, Matt, the house looks so different.
A little bit.
And we got brand new framing on this 2-story section here. You ripped that roof off too, didn't you?
Yeah, there was a big porch roof right there.
And you ripped off on the front of the house that front flat roof that had that weird kind of pitched, not flat roof for the parapet too, didn't you?
Yes, yeah.
What'd you find when you pulled all that roof off?
So all that decking was just really soft. It wasn't rotten yet, but it was on its way. And so we decided we probably should just kind of
reframe all that.
Yeah, all of it and redo it.
Yeah. And this looks great, all this two-story section
Yep.
here. Now it's interesting, you've got a bunch of pretty rotted
Haven't
stuff
hit that
up
yet.
here.
Yep.
Now what do you attribute this rot to, Matt? What do you think caused all this?
The parapet walls for sure.
Yeah. And no overhang in that spot.
Yep.
And you know what else is interesting, Matt, here?
And the window. There's windows all there that were all open as well.
So look at that beam right there that's all rotted out. Looks like maybe an LVL beam right there. It's interesting, Matt, when you transition from a wall down to a ceiling, I remember on the house before, there was no place for that water to weep out.
No.
And so any water that got in underneath that window kind of sat on that beam and couldn't weep out. And that's really important for us to remember when you transition from walls to soffit areas. We need a place for that water to get out.
So we're actually going to rebuild this to where it comes straight down all the way down.
Oh, is that right? Okay.
Yeah, so we're gonna take out that whole little nook.
Gotcha.
We won't have that problem, hopefully.
And check out the damage on those studs too. Now those look like they're still okay, right?
I don't remember. I don't know if I've even messed with those yet. They're not.
No, they're not doing too good.
No.
Dang. Man, it's coming along though. Project's looking good.
Getting there, right?
How's the project been on your marriage?
It's great. No, it's actually a lot better now that when we first pulled the rock off, we were definitely worried.
Yeah.
And now that we're putting new stuff back on and it's starting to look like that and look pretty, we're like, okay, this is coming along. Like maybe we won't be doing this forever, or maybe we won't just light a fire and say never mind.
Yeah, I mean, that's something that I actually made a video not too long ago about should I have torn it down versus should I have continued on the process. Has anyone asked you about that yet?
Yeah, every comment ever. Every comment's like bulldoze and start over. But what people, they see all this stuff and they see that we redid almost that whole wall.
Yeah.
But they don't see all that framing on the inside and all that framing on the inside. And there's so much stuff that's great in this house.
Yeah.
Most of the house is good.
Is in good
it's
shape.
just the outside, the part that you see on video, a lot of it's like this and needs work.
The other thing I said on my video, Matt, that I like about remodels and redoing it is there's a certain amount of constraint that comes from redoing. Whereas if you would have bulldozed this and started fresh, you might have gone, I need a 7,000 square foot house, or
3-story.
I need 2 pools, one downstairs and one upstairs.
Yeah, my rooftop pool,
And, you haven't done that. You kind of constrain yourself to the existing.
Right.
And of course, it is a mansion to begin with, but you've got a great foundation. You're on rock up here. You've got no foundation issues. So starting where you are, I think you're in good shape, man.
Yeah, we're happy with it. It's going.
Good luck on that sheathing, my friend. We'll be back in a couple weeks, guys, for another update. If you don't currently subscribe to Matt's channel, though, go over and check out Off the Ranch. I'll put a link in the description below so you can get over there and see it. I think you're on like part 9 on this house, right?
I think 12.
12? Okay, sorry.
I'm pretty sure we just put up 11. So yeah, it's
I'm behind an issue apparently.
the joke on YouTube is can't wait for part 200 when this house is done.
It's looking good, guys. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram. Otherwise, we'll see you next time on The Build Show.